Hey you guys, my name is Keish. It's about my first time coming live on this. I am talking about my weight loss surgery. This is pre-op, I think is what you call it. I'm having weight loss surgery, doing the gastric sleeve. Today is today is May the 2nd. I will actually be heading to the hospital in a couple of hours. I'm super nervous. I'm still contemplating if this is the right thing for me or not. My highest weight, it was 328. Right now I'm 290. I started this journey almost I want to say back in September of last year, and decided that, I've had enough and I need to do something. I work out normally. Usually I think my biggest problem is that I don't eat a lot and I don't eat often enough. I'm very busy at work, very busy when I get home. I'm a single mom of 2 teenagers, so I'm constantly on the go. And I just thought maybe this was a good way for me to go to try to get back on a healthy lifestyle track. So I will be doing the surgery tomorrow again today in a couple of hours. And I'm really nervous. So just a little bit about what I've been through. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been on the clear liquid diet. I was set to start it on April 18th, which was funny because my birthday was April 20th, and my doctor did allow me to have dinner for my birthday. So I did liquids like earlier that day, and then I had me a really good dinner. I actually went to BJ's. I had jambalaya, I had chips and salsa, and I had a cookie and ice cream. And let me be frank, I typically don't eat that much, but I was like, yeah, this is going to be great. And like I was saying earlier, typically I'm not a big eater. When I work during the week, I do eat 3 times a day. I eat my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner because it's scheduled. On the weekends, especially if I'm running around, I will go all day and not even eat or drink. My biggest issue is getting in my water and, eating smaller meals multiple times a day. And one of the biggest things I hate is that people assume that just because you're overweight or you're obese, that you eat burgers and fries all day. That is such a misconception. I'm not a big fast food eater. I can't tell you the last time I had a Coke. I stopped drinking caffeinated drinks years ago. I'm not a huge sweet eater. I don't eat a lot of junk food. I have 2 teenagers and I barely buy junk food or juice. I'm definitely a water drinker, always have been. I'm never really thirsty. When I work out, I do drink. If I'm not working out, I can go all day and not drink and won't be thirsty. I pretty much start gaining weight probably after I had my kids. When I had my daughter, I was about 220. In the past, some of the weight loss things I've tried is, one, exercising and trying to eat healthier. But I think the problem with that is I really didn't know what to eat or how to eat. I've tried HCG diets, which I actually lost 40 pounds off that, but then I gained it right back. And they swear up and down you don't gain weight or you don't regain the weight back after you've had it. Such a lie. I've done Weight Watchers. I started that with work, and it was okay. Yeah, you get to eat anything you want, but having to write stuff down all the time, and then when you get to cooking your own meals, having to look at every label and things like that, it was just so time consuming. I don't recall noticing any significant weight, maybe a pound or 2. My thing is, as long as I can work out, I can sustain my weight. never really been able to lose weight, but can sustain it. If I stop working out, that's when the weight starts coming on. I don't even have to change my diet. The weight will just start coming on. Okay, so let's talk about, like I said, my experience so far. So I started about September. And because of my insurance, which is Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, I had to do 6 months of talking with a dietary therapist. So we would talk once a month, do video chat, and basically she was just giving me tips. Make sure you're drinking more water, make sure you're eating more often, make sure you're chewing your food 30 times a bite, make sure you're not drinking 30 minutes before your meal or 30 minutes after, telling me that, you know, basically when you eat and drink, the fluids are expanding your stomach, which pushes down the food that you're eating and allows you to eat more food. So the goal is to not drink while you eat so you can get fuller faster, or, you know, become satisfied faster. So I did that for 6 months. The next thing after that, I had to go see a cardiologist who did an EKG to make sure my heart was healthy enough for me to go through the surgery. And then after that, I went to go see psychologist who basically we talked for an hour. He just kind of explained the process and what I may be going through after the fact. He had me do like a 700 question like a personality test, and that was supposed to make sure that I was psycho enough to go through the surgery and that I wasn't crazy or depressed or, you know, anything like that. So that was a trip. And then after that, what did I do after that? After that, I think it was just waiting on my doctor to get back with me and set the surgery date, which probably between the therapist and the surgery date was probably about 6 weeks. So I've been on this journey for a while. Had I known in the beginning it would have taken this long, I probably wouldn't have went through it. I finished the the therapist with the dietitian in February. I was thinking, you know, a week or two later I'll be in surgery, so I'm thinking I would have been well beyond the point by now. That just wasn't the case. I will say this, depending on how your insurance goes, if this is something you're thinking about doing, you haven't really got deep into it, definitely start at the beginning of the year, or definitely start at the beginning of the year. I was so frustrated when I found out I had to do the 6 months dietitian thing because I had actually met my deductible last year. And last year I had a PPO. My deductible was $1,400. And because of other doctor visits that I had taken, I had met my deductible. But unfortunately, the surgery got pushed into the next year. Well, the problem with that is I had to add my kids to my insurance this year, so my deductible almost doubled. So it was $2,800 that I had to meet for this surgery, and oh my gosh, like, I was going through the roof. So if you know you're planning on have the surgery, make sure you plan it well. You know, get it all in the same year so that way you're not wasting money or you don't feel like you're, you know, having to come out of your pocket for all this extra money, because you're definitely going to have some doctor visits, you know, after the fact, and you don't want to be paying $400 per doctor visit, because right now that's what I've been paying, like $300, $200. The cardiologist I paid like $300 and something dollars to. The therapist was $300 and something dollars. Now the dietitian was actually no cost to me, and I feel like maybe it's because it was a preventive care, which I was kind of worried about that because I thought I was going to have to like really come out of pocket for this whole situation. But so far it's been my $2,800. The doctor fee for my last visit was like $900. The hospital, when I go tomorrow, I'm going to have to pay them $1,500. Now technically, because I've had some other things going on, I have some issues with my knees, which is something I've had issues with previously, I had to get a couple of MRIs. That was $1,000. So technically, I've already met my deductible, but because the claims haven't went through, my deductible still shows that I owe $2,000. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pay that out tomorrow morning when I go to the hospital, which is their cut. But I still think there's a couple of extra dollars that's going to be coming because I know the anesthesia always bills separately. And from the last times I've had surgery, especially on my knee, I think it took like 6 or 8 months for that anesthesia bill to come, which pissed me off because I thought I was gun-ho free with the medical expenses. But anyway, back on topic. So yeah, so like I said, my deductible is like $2,800 outside of the surgery. The surgery itself, I would have paid about 2,025. Let's see, 1,000 for the doctor, 1,500 for the hospital. Let's say about 750 for the cardiologist and for the therapist, psychologist. So it's expensive, but luckily is kind of like spread out, so it's not so back to back. The only part that's really back to back is the final doctor visit, and then of course the hospital visit, which technically you would pay during pre-op when you go to the hospital and they just check you out and kind of get half the steps prepared for the surgery. So again, my surgery is tomorrow, and if I haven't mentioned, I'm in Dallas. My doctor is Dr. Jeffrey Hinkie. I've heard good things about him. He's really cool, really down to earth. So I'm going to be getting that done tomorrow. I'm so nervous, and I have to admit, I was on the liquid diet for 2 weeks. I told you that my birthday was 2 days after. They did let me eat, but I have eaten something like every day. Well, not every day, but the first week, I think I ate something every day, and not any meals. I just really wanted to chew something. They say you can have sugar-free gum. I'm not a big sugar-free gum person. Mint, I don't really do mint. I like flavored gum, but I'm not really a gum chewer either. So that's, but I might have, I don't know, eaten a couple of M&Ms. I chewed on a couple of oranges. Like orange slices. I know one day I ate a ravioli. Another day, what else did I eat? One day I ate a piece of bacon. Not any full meals by any means necessarily, but definitely just having that real urge to just chew on something. Some raisins I chewed on one day, and just needed that urge to chew. Now I know after the surgery I'm not going to be able to do that. I've heard the stories. I don't even want to try because Jesus, no, I hate pain. So but all I've been doing for the last 2 weeks is the Premier protein drinks. I really enjoy them. I'm not a big fan of broth. I'm not a big fan of sugar-free anything. I hate the taste of Sweet and Low and whatever those other sweeteners are. It's like if it's not sugar, don't even bother with it. But to me, they taste more sweet than they need to be. So I really don't care for them. So all I've been really drinking is the Premier Proteins, which the dietitian had got me started drinking those back then too, when we were doing our 6 months meetings and things like that. I'm very satisfied with the protein drinks. They did keep me full. Like I said, I'm not used to eating a lot as it is, which is my problem of gaining weight, so I keep being told. But they kept me very satisfied, especially for the days that like I said, on the weekends when I'm constantly running. Like, I don't have to stop and get anything to eat. That was just like the best thing for me. They do keep me satisfied. like I said, I just, maybe one day I would not eat absolutely anything. And then the next day, like I said, I might just have a really strong urge just to chew something. So I'll eat a piece of bacon or, cooking dinner, I take a bite of a chicken, but nothing whole or nothing, no full meals or anything like that, because I would hate to have to pay out all this money, then get there on the day of surgery and somebody talk about, ma'am, yeah, we're just gonna have to push it back. I can't do it, cannot do it. So I definitely will catch back up with you guys and let you know how the surgery went. We're going to see how it goes, and I'm going to keep you guys posted. If you have any questions for me, let me know, and I'll definitely get those answered. But, yeah, I don't want to keep going with this video because it's already too long, but I definitely have more to talk about. So I will be making other videos, so just subscribe, and we'll catch up later.